Okay, so we're diving into this really insightful essay today, shaping yourself into who you want to be.
Yeah.
And it really pushes back against a lot of the usual thinking on personal growth,
Mm-hmm.
suggesting that, real change isn't about these huge sweeping overhauls or complicated systems.
Hmm.
It's something much more subtle, more constant.
Right. Happening all the time.
Exactly. And the essay just grabs you right away with this scenario that we've all been in, right? Standing in a grocery store checkout line.
Oh, yeah. The slow cashier situation.
Totally. You're short on time, maybe feeling that familiar impatience creeping up as the cashier fumbles a bit,
And the person ahead is probably sighing dramatically.
right? Checking
Yep.
their phone, adding to the vibe, and your own frustration starts building.
Mhm.
But then, right there in that tiny moment, you actually have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
You could just, lean into that collective irritation, or you could do what the essay talks about, like casting a vote for a slightly different version of yourself.
Like a small act of patience.
Yeah, maybe just a quick smile or a kind word to the cashier, even if you're feeling rushed. And that little shift in your response and that gap between the stimulus, the flow line, and your reaction.
That's the key space.
That's where the essay argues the real architecture of who we become gets built. It's all about those small, often unseen decisions.
And what's really compelling about that, I think, is how directly it challenges the mainstream self-improvement narrative.
Yeah, it does.
So much of the advice out there, treats growth like it's a performance.
Right, like a checklist.
Exactly. Checklist of habits or some 30-day challenge, maybe a rigid system you have to follow perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
But this essay, Shaping Yourself into Who You Want to Be, it argues that the person you actually become, deep down, is fundamentally shaped by these tiny, almost invisible choices.
The ones you make when nobody's watching.
Precisely. It's not about the big public declarations of, I'm changing. It's about the thousands of micro decisions that just sort of add up over time to form your identity.
Exactly. And, for our audience, people who are already pretty deep into thinking about personal development,
Yeah.
this isn't just saying track your habits. It goes deeper.
It feels more fundamental.
Right. The essay suggests that people who genuinely seem to have their life together,
Yeah.
they probably didn't get there by adopting some single magic routine.
No, it's more organic than that.
Yeah, it's more like they arrived there by making like thousands of these small, consistent choices.
Mhm.
Choices that line up with the kind of person they actually want to be.
Mm.
Consciously choosing curiosity maybe instead of immediate judgment when they hear a new idea.
Or choosing action over getting bogged down and explaining why something went wrong.
Yes, or maybe choosing purpose over convenience when a decision is tough.
Yeah.
It's about seeing that little space between an event and your response and then deliberately choosing within it.
Navigating that gap.
Yeah. And the essay really develops this idea, introducing what it calls the architecture of choice.
I like that metaphor, architecture.
Me too. It's powerful because it really highlights that in, basically every single moment, you're not just reacting passively. You're actually being presented with multiple versions of who you could be right then.
With a constant fork in the road, but on a micro level.
Exactly. It's this continuous, really dynamic process of self-selection.
And it's not just theoretical, is it? It happens constantly in everyday stuff.
Oh, totally.
Like you see someone struggling with heavy bags, in that second you have a choice. Are you the person who offers help or the person who walks past thinking, not my problem?
Right. Or in a conversation. Are you really listening? Like properly engaged?
Or just waiting for your turn to talk, formulating your response while they're still speaking?
Guilty as charged sometimes.
We all are. Or think professionally. You face a setback. Do you adapt with purpose, thoughtfully adjust your strategy to still hit your goal? Or do you just kind of go along to get along, let things push you around?
Letting external forces decide.
Yeah, and each one of those decisions, no matter how small it seems, it adds a little thread to the story you're weaving about yourself. It's actively shaping your identity.
Building that narrative.
These sort of micro-identity shifts, you could call them. They reinforce patterns that either help you reach your bigger goals or, subtly undermine them.
That's a really key point, reinforcing patterns. The essay uses some great examples to show this.
Yeah, the entrepreneur one is good.
Right. The one whose initial drive comes from something negative, like wanting to prove an old boss wrong.
Yeah, the motivation might be spite initially.
Exactly. The energy comes from spite. But then, look at the choices they make consistently after that initial spark. Showing up daily, solving problems, pushing through the hard stuff, actually executing tasks.
Yeah, actions.
Right. Those actions lead them to genuinely become someone who executes, that identity, an executor, it gets forged through those consistent choices, almost regardless of where the initial darker motivation came from.
It's a fascinating look at how the path shapes the traveler, not just the starting point.
Totally. It's like a behavioral activation in psychology, right?
Yeah,
Even if the thought starts negative, the doing can create its own positive momentum.
absolutely. It can build a new identity loop, but like you said earlier, it definitely works in reverse too. It can create patterns that really hold us back.
For sure.
Like the example of someone who, whenever they mess up, spends all their energy crafting these incredibly elaborate apologies instead of just fixing the problem.
Oh, I know people like that.
Right. They're not just wasting time and, frankly, energy. They're also deeply reinforcing their own identity as someone who gets stuck in problems.
Or maybe someone who cares more about seeming sorry than being effective.
Exactly. It becomes a self-fulfilling thing. That's the real cost, isn't it? Focusing on the performance of apology instead of the actual fix. It drains you and solidifies an unproductive self-image.
It's a double whammy, absolutely.
Hmm.
So, okay, if these invisible choices are that powerful in shaping us, how do we actually get better at making them more consciously?
Right. That's the practical question.
And the essay argues, interestingly, that we don't necessarily need more external systems or super rigid habits.
Not another app or spreadsheet.
Haha. Right. Instead, what really makes the difference are better decision-making tools,
Mm-hmm.
tools for navigating those crucial micro moments. And it gives us three really clear, practical ways to think about it.
Okay.
So the first tool is, it sounds simple, but it's actually really powerful. Ask yourself if you'd want to spend time with the person you're growing into.
Not the future you, but the now you.
Exactly. Not some idealized version down the road, but the person you are becoming right now in this moment based on this choice you're about to make.
Okay. Give me an example.
So back to the checkout line. If you respond to that slow cashier with loud sighs, visible impatience, just radiating frustration, pause for a second and ask, would I actually enjoy grabbing a coffee with someone who acts like this?
Ah, I see. Versus a person who maybe takes a breath and offers a kind word.
Right. Would you prefer their company? It's like a real-time self-assessment. It forces you to check if your actions right now align with the kind of person you genuinely respect and, well, want to be around.
Yay.
Not just for others, but for yourself.
Like checking in with your own internal companion, it links to that psychological idea of the ideal self, doesn't it? Making sure your actions match that inner vision.
Yeah, exactly. It's like an instant character check.
A feedback loop for self-alignment. Not judgmental, just aligning.
Yeah.
And that connects really nicely to the second tool the essay offers, purpose clarity.
Having that North Star.
Precisely. When you have a really clear, solid understanding of what you're fundamentally trying to achieve, your core purpose, then your responses to things, your adaptations, they become strategic, not just reactive.
So you're not just flailing.
Right. Knowing your why lets you be flexible in your how. You can change your approach, adapt your tactics as needed, but your ultimate destination stays constant. And that clarity, that's what lets you do things like take negative emotions, like that entrepreneur spite we talked about, and actually channel them, transform them into constructive fuel that moves you forward.
So your core values stay solid, even if your methods shift.
Exactly. Without that deep sense of purpose, even choices you think are good can feel a bit adrift. Or worse, they might lead you down paths that don't actually serve the person you ultimately want to be.
That makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
It's like having a rudder on a ship,
Yeah.
right? Otherwise, you're just pushed around by every wave.
Perfect analogy. Which brings us to the third tool, energy awareness.
Ah, yes, the internal balance sheet.
That's a great way to put it. This is so critical, but honestly often overlooked. Every single choice you make, big or small, it either gives you energy or it takes energy away.
Like deposits and withdrawals.
Exactly. The essay uses that great example again. Spending 20 minutes writing the perfect, super detailed apology for a mistake, instead of just owning it quickly and moving straight to fixing it.
Right. The elaborate apology feels like you're doing something.
But it actually drains energy. Energy that could have gone into the actual solution.
Yeah. Or think about the choice, maybe, to get so comfortable being alone that you stop making an effort to connect with people.
Trying to protect your energy, perhaps?
Maybe. Shielding yourself from potentially draining social stuff. And okay, maybe that guards your energy in the short term. It avoids awkwardness or effort.
But the cost.
But the cost is missing out on that profound, often replenishing energy you get from real, meaningful connection. from shared experiencing.
It's a trade-off.
It's absolutely a trade-off. And being really aware of that energy flow, what truly fuels you versus what depletes you long term, that empowers you to make choices that are more sustainable, more aligned.
It's not about avoiding all effort, but understanding the energy investment and return. It's like good self-stewardship, managing your finite resources.
Yeah, exactly. Managing that internal budget.
And this leads beautifully into what the essay calls the compound effect. This is where it all really comes together.
Where the magic happens.
Kind of, because these small, often invisible choices we've been talking about, they compound. They build on each other in ways that can completely reshape your life over time.
Like compound interest, but for your character.
Exactly like that. It's not just about one isolated moment, it's the cumulative impact.
Okay.
So think about the person who consistently chooses to just be good company, offers patience, maybe a smile, listens well. Over time, they don't just make interactions nicer for others.
They probably feel better themselves, too.
They find they enjoy their own company more. They build this self-reinforcing loop of positivity. It improves how they see themselves and their actual social reality.
And the other example, the problem solver.
Right. The person who consistently leads with solutions instead of getting bogged down in excuses or elaborate apologies. What happens to them?
They get trusted more.
Exactly. They get trusted with bigger, more interesting, more complex problems to solve. They build a reputation, an identity as someone who is capable and reliable. And that opens doors to opportunities that just weren't there before.
Wow. So these tiny, consistent investments in who you choose to be, they really pay off exponentially.
Across all areas of life, yeah. It shows how identity isn't this fixed thing. It's alive, it's evolving, and it's shaped by every single microaction we take.
Okay, that feels like the real secret sauce of personal change then, doesn't it?
I think so.
Like the essay says so well, it's not really about becoming a totally different person overnight.
No radical transformation needed.
It's more about becoming more conscious of which version of yourself you're choosing to activate, moment by moment. Recognizing that every single interaction, every response, every tiny decision you make, it's like casting a vote.
A vote for the person you want to become.
Yeah, it's this ongoing internal election. And with every choice, you're either endorsing that aspirational self or rejecting it.
That's a powerful frame.
And the really freeing part of thinking this way, about the power of these invisible choices, is that you don't need to wait.
No grand plan required first.
Right. You don't need some complicated new system. You don't need a perfectly designed habit tracker. You don't even need the perfect conditions to start. The power is right here, right now. It's just about paying attention to the next choice right in front of you.
Bringing awareness to the immediate moment.
Exactly.
Right.
And the essay gives such clear, practical examples, like the very next time someone frustrates you, could be in traffic, could be in that checkout line again, could be in a meeting.
You have that choice point.
You have that choice point.
Yeah.
You can consciously choose to be someone who responds with a bit of patience, maybe some understanding, or you can choose to be someone who just adds more stress and negativity to the situation.
Okay.
Or the next time you make a mistake, and we all do big or small, you can choose to be someone who gets stuck spinning their wheels with long explanations and justification.
Defensiveness.
Yeah. Or you can choose to be someone who moves quickly to finding a solution, to making it right.
Action over explanation again.
Right. Or the next time you feel that sense of disconnection, maybe from colleagues, maybe from friends or family, you can choose to be someone who kind of retreats, builds walls.
Protects themselves, maybe.
Or you can choose to be someone who proactively tries to build a bridge, who reaches out, who fosters connection.
Leaning in instead of pulling back.
Exactly. And these choices, they might feel small. They might seem almost invisible to the outside world sometimes, but they're not small at all, are they?
No, they're the building blocks.
They're the absolute building blocks. They're the material your life is actually constructed from. They are, like the essay says, the invisible architecture of who you are, constantly, actively becoming, brick by tiny brick.
Beautifully put. And, the essay really leaves us with this final, quite profound thought to chew on. Yeah. You are making these choices all the time. Every day, every hour, whether you're paying attention or not, the architecture is being built regardless.
Right. It's happening anyway.
Yeah. It's happening anyway. So the crucial question isn't if you'll make choices that shape you. You will. The real question is, will you make them consciously? Will you make them with intention? Will you make them in service of the person you genuinely aspire to become? Your very next choice. It's waiting right now. Yeah. What are you going to do with it?